Okay, hopefully you can hear me. It's the Tuesday show. My name is Ultra David. This is Mr. jchensor.
How's everybody going?
Let me look at the chat. Okay, how does it sound? Does it sound static? It sounds like static.
Static.
Man.
Really?
Tuesday technical difficulties with UltraChen.
Where's static? No static? Yes, static? Wow, interesting. Alright, give me 1 second. Let me try one thing and see what happens. Alright, does that change it? Or is it now staticky? Yeah, I know. I did the no sound on purpose. So no static and sound is back. I guess I just have to quit this app and start it again or something like that. So Tuesday technical difficulties, they said.
Mm-hmm. That's a good show name.
Yeah, I think we should just keep it that way. Tuesday technical difficulties.
I don't know what to even say. Anyway, let's talk about other stuff. Topics for today include Ultra Street Fighter 4 rumors, Ultimate Marvel 3, Capcom Cup, Canada Cup. Then I also want to talk about this the Tekken Championships.
Yes,
I'd like to talk about some other crap too. Maybe we'll get to it.
Okay,
but the major stuff are those.
Yeah, so, I mean, everybody yesterday was like, talk about the Ultra rumors, but we had shows to do yesterday, so that's for today.
That is what we do on the Tuesday show. So just to bring up what these rumors were, yesterday, and for a little while, but really yesterday, it came up big.
Do you want to post a link to this?
Sure, that's a good idea. Let me post a link to this in the chat, and on YouTube, I'll try to post the link as well. The discussion was about rumors for Ultra Street Fighter 4. Now, it's been rumored for a long time that you're going to be able to use both Ultras in the game. In exactly what method, I don't think anybody knows. But then in addition to that, a couple of things were rumored yesterday. So one thing is red focus. This is said to be able to absorb 2 hits, costs 2 bars of meter, and the level 2 is unblockable. Some sources, according to this Event Hub's article, are reporting that the damage may go unscaled after red focus. Of course, currently focus scales things to the next level of scalage.
Right. It counts as 2 moves.
It counts as 2 moves for the... So anyway, the rumor is that will not be there for red focus. In addition to that, there was the both Ultras thing that I mentioned.
But the interesting thing that this thing made it sound like is that you have the option to choose one or both Ultras.
Right.
One A, B, or A and B, in other words. So that was kind of interesting.
And according to this rumor, supposedly if the player opts to select both Ultras, the damage on each Ultra will be considerably less. Okay. So you're going for less damage, but maybe more utility.
Yeah.
Right. Then the third rumor was that there's a delayed wake-up mechanic that might get implemented. Reports suggest that the input will be MP plus HP. I mean, whatever. It's
forward kick and fierce, right? So
it says MP and HP.
Oh, MP and HP. Oh, that's weird.
Strong and fierce, which would be really weird because then, what am I going to do about Lariat? Because Lariat is LP, MP, HP.
Well, you won't be falling on the ground to do a Lariat, right?
Maybe I want to do reversal Lariat. I don't know. Anyway, so those are the 3 rumors I think that came out yesterday, and so obviously that caused a big firestorm among the whole fighting game community. People talking about the rumors and offering their own ideas, and some people making up additional rumors. I mean, maybe these are even made up in the first place. Obviously, we have no idea. So that was the big news, and it's what we got to talk about, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, let's just talk about them one by one.
Sure.
I guess. Let's start with the stuff that we kind of knew about, maybe, that like we've been hearing rumors about, which is the double Ultra. I don't know. Okay. What do you think of that?
I think it makes some characters way better. I think even if you did nothing else to characters like Hakan and Dalsum, that they would just be automatically better. A Dalsum who has access to Ultra 1, which is the Yoga Catastrophe, that means he has a ton of setups. It means he has comeback potential. If he has access to Ultra 2, it means that he has a damaging mid-range Punisher that anti-airs a lot of characters very consistently.
Right.
Usually he has to pick one or the other, and it's kind of a matchup-based thing. But if he has the ability to pick both, I mean, that makes them much better. And Hakan's is obvious. If you have a one frame...
All grapplers.
Well,
all
but
three grapplers.
You're right, but
like,
especially
right.
Hakan's, because Hakan, unlike Geef, doesn't require that he be airborne in the first place.
Right.
Hakan's is just you can do reversal if you're on the ground you're boned, or reversal if you're not on the ground you're boned, because it's not just airborne, it's like backdashing and whatever.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do standing next to a Hakan as he's getting up and he has both these ultras? It's just
don't be next to him.
Don't be there.
I mean, here's the thing, right? I mean, obviously, Zangief could be a problem. T-Hawk could be a problem. I've always said that with two Ultras that Ryu will never be Adon again to save his life, right? Mm-hmm. Because now you can't throw fireballs, but then when you get in close, you can get uppercut, FADC, Ultra, right? So here's the thing, right? They talk about this damage reduction here. This is the part that's interesting to me. Because right now a full Ultra does about... Ultras on average do about 350, 400 damage, right? A halfway filled Ultra meter, if people don't know, basically goes from 67% damage to 100%. If they change it so that it's 50%, like let's just say they just have the damage, right? So now the Ultras are going to do about on average of 200 damage.
Okay.
And if your meter's not even full, like let's say it's at 67% or whatever like that, right? That means what, like 130 something damage or something? So in other words, if you get caught, Ryu's uppercut does more damage.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So then it does become an extra move that you get for free just once in a while.
Okay.
But it just does no damage. So
okay. So characters who have damaging combo ultras, maybe this isn't that big a deal for them.
Right.
But if you have utility ultras like Sim,
yes.
I mentioned, the couple that I mentioned, I mean, there are a bunch of other ones. Makoto has, Ultra 2 if she could escape, and also if she could have juggles with the two. I mean,
like grab you and then Ultra, or
juggles and also combos. Or escapes and combos, anyway. If Akuma had both the ability to cancel normals and the ability to cancel teleports with Ultras, I mean, stuff like that. Like, even if they don't do a lot of damage, they are... Just great utility. I mean, it's so useful to have that stuff.
And let's face it, we have no idea how much the damage is going to be reduced. This is, like I said, 50%. If they reduce it, let's just say, like, the Ultras get dropped down to 33%, then they become insignificant, and there's no point.
That seems like they probably wouldn't do that.
Right. So you have to have this weird balance between making it so they are not too good and, at the same time, not completely worthless.
Right.
So.
I mean, obviously, we're just guessing about the half... If somebody asks, how do you know that they're going to be half damage?
Dude,
obviously, we have no idea.
But, like, can you imagine a Fei Long and a Cammy with their counters? Because you use them as a discouragement, right? They activate automatically, essentially. Once you get the meter, the opponent has to change their gameplay.
True.
So now I have that option against, say, a Viper Vortex. And at the same time, I can still uppercut FADC.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
But if you're, let's see... I'm trying to think of a character who really just has
one
good one.
Yun right now.
Maybe Yun.
Sora Rengeki so useless.
Okay.
It doesn't even juggle. The only time it juggles is during Ganejin. It's really sad.
Sure. So if you're Yun, maybe you don't care about having the second Ultra. Right. You just go with the one Ultra in the first place.
Do some people mention Ryu? Obviously, they did not watch Justin versus that Ryu who played Ultra 2 versus him in Canada.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's...
No, I know.
It can come up, but that's a character who would probably prefer to have the damage on Ultra 1.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's that part of it. What do you think about the delayed get-up mechanic?
I was a proponent of this. I talked about this in some of the blog articles that we stopped writing completely, right? So
UltraChenTV.com.
I've been planning to get back to it. I just haven't had a chance yet. But there was definitely I was a proponent of the delayed wake up.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, to be honest with you, the more and more I thought about it, I kind of not sure if I like it right now.
Okay.
Mostly because the characters with the good vortex, like Seth and Akuma and Cammy and Ibuki, these are super capable characters outside the vortex. You take away their vortex, they'll still beat you up, right?
Okay.
There's some characters like Cody or whoever like that who just have enough trouble getting you down on the first place, or like You know, like a Zangief, right? I mean, he can't even knock anyone down because EX Green Hand doesn't knock down, right?
Well, I mean, according to when
that's
Combo Fan
right.
was like
Yeah,
just
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about things
yeah,
on their
They
stream.
might give it back.
They might. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that.
But in any case, I feel like it's gonna mess up a lot of mid-tier characters. I feel like the characters who aren't as good are actually gonna suffer more than the characters who are good.
Huh.
So I don't know if I'm like, I thought about it a little bit, and I almost feel like it might be better off if you tried to tweak.
That actually is an interesting point, I would say. So you're saying that the loss to these higher tier characters of their vortex is less significant than the loss to the lower tier characters of their own mix-ups, even though they gain in those matchups where they're facing these top tier characters the ability to not face vortex.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like let's just say you have an Akuma versus give me a good mid-tier character, right? Like Guy, for example, right?
Sure.
Guy and Akuma are going to fight each other. You take away their vortex, I still feel like Akuma is going to be able to get more hits on Guy. And now if Guy knocks Akuma down with his floaty jumps and stuff like that, it's going to be harder for him to time a proper mix-up because now he's got delay teleport or instant teleport or quick rise teleport or uppercut and stuff like that. So to be honest with you, the more I think about it, the more I think that they should tweak the characters individually to make it so that they just take away their vortex. I think you could do that in a clever fashion that might work better. So,
well, how do you get rid of things like unblockables based on I do a slide on you and knock you down in the corner as a con, and like now you're getting up. It's a hard knockdown.
So the way that my thought process is now is as long as you can't keep repeating it, because an ambiguous cross up, the characters with the vortex are the ones that can knock you down and repeat it.
Yeah.
Right. So Cammy, if she gets you with the drill, even though you can quick rise, she can dive kick, and if you don't quick rise, she can get dive kick again. Kind of vortex, right? Akuma, everything leads into sweep and stuff like that. I was thinking about, this is a weird fact, but in Alpha 3, if you sweep someone, their moves classified as sweeps. If you sweep them, you can't juggle them anymore. So if you hit them with like Ryu's low roundhouse, like custom low roundhouse uppercut, you cannot juggle them at all, right? However, if the low roundhouse connects against an airborne opponent, if it juggles them, you can juggle because it doesn't count as a sweep because you hit them out of the air. It's really weird, right?
Okay, but anyway.
What if they implemented that? So, for example, if Akuma did short hurricane sweep, you can quick rise. But if he sweeps you off the ground, you can't quick rise.
Okay, so in juggles, so I guess that helps with Akuma.
Sakura too, if she does, for example, like EX Tatsu in the sweep. Right?
I suppose, but I mean, I guess maybe you would make, I don't know, maybe make Otoshi not a hard knockdown.
The first two hits have to be quick riseable.
Okay, that's fine.
So, yeah.
What about like Hakan getting slide hard knockdown? All of his specials are hard knockdowns, and he has unblockables off of that.
Hakan was not one I thought about. Yeah, I would.
It's
tough. It's tough.
It is tough because
sure.
even characters that don't have vortexes still have unblockables off of throw. A lot of characters have that. Off of certain hard knockdowns that they have, a lot of characters have that. I think it's just tough to try to go through each of those situations and try to ferret out all the things that could lead to an unblockable.
Right.
Really the only way to do that, say you can't do an unblockable after a throw, is to always throw the opponent farther away than your jump. And that's just stupid.
Yeah. And that's not going to work in the corners anyway.
Right, yeah. What do you do? Bounce the opponent off the corner? it's
you throw them
a wall bounce,
slide
right?
backwards,
No, I don't think that's tenable.
Yeah.
So I understand why people would want the delayed getup, but I think that's an interesting point about it maybe hurting some characters that we didn't think about.
Comic Books here says like Dudley and Abel would suffer pretty badly, and I would imagine that they would.
I would think so.
Dudley would probably get really hurt badly by it because he needs the overhead and low.
Right, you got to time that stuff
like that. Yeah.
You can already do a delayed getup in this game, just nobody does it. You can quick rise within a 5-frame window.
Yeah.
I know it's not easy.
I tried. I sat there and tried.
It.
It's hard.
It's
hard, dude. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So, what do you think about the last one of these three, and maybe the most unexpected, which is red focus?
That was just weird to me. I don't understand what it's trying to fulfill. What in the game was crying for something like this. You know, maybe it's just to put something, a little interesting snag into the game, but I can imagine a lot of guaranteed victory situations thanks to this. If a person has a tiny bit of life and I have 4 meters and they block my cross-up roundhouse, I'm just going to do roundhouse, low forward, fireball, FADC into red focus, build level 2, and if it's unblockable like the rumor says...
Oh man, that would be too stupid. Like they must have thought of that.
Right. So that was the first thing that came to my mind. Using all 4 meters because it'll take 2 meters to FADC and 2 meters to activate it according to the rumors.
You know what they could do is they could do what happens with Dawson. When you have a Yoga Catastrophe out, like once the opponent starts blocking the Catastrophe, they cannot be level 3 focused.
Yes.
You can't.
Rose is the
unblockable
same
them.
thing. Remember, you
Rose
can't
is the same thing.
hit them when the orbs are there. So.
Right. So they could do that, but that seems like a pretty big game-wide change.
Yeah.
But I agree. I mean, I don't even really know what to make of this because it seems so out of the blue.
Some people are even saying that it's a red focus out of block stun. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I mean, well, without any more information from this, whoever the random leaker was, it's hard to know. Like, the name Red Focus harkens back to Red Parry in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
Oh, right. That's probably maybe where a lot of people are thinking it's done out of block stun.
Right. So Red Parry in Third Strike, that game doesn't have absolute guard, but you let go of the stick
you get hit
while you're blocking, and then you press toward on the stick or down, as the case may be, and you get a red parry. It's very difficult to time, and you can only do it when you had blocked the previous attack, a very close attack, in time. So the name Red Focus brings that up, but it's not necessarily related. It could be a different idea. Who knows?
The interesting thing about it is if it absorbs 2 hits, it could kind of help in vortex situations, absorb the jump attack, and then on the ground absorb another hit, and then you know which side to backdash.
I guess. I mean, thinking about Akuma again, for you could focus out of Hurricane Kick and then the sweep follow-up. But then if you're an Akuma player, whatever, you just do like Hurricane Kick instead or some other follow-up.
Yeah, and again, I mean, there's really no reason to get too worried about these. These are all rumors again.
Yeah.
So Capcom is supposed to make an announcement, like someone said.
Oh yeah.
They said that. I mean, they said that it's like supposed to be some like kind of like we're gonna make this cool announcement. And so I'm wondering if they're going to talk about any of these things. Maybe they'll do the 5th character. Finally, please, can we find out who the dang 5th character is?
It's been a while.
I'm tired of not knowing.
You know what's funny to me is how Capcom thinks that they can keep all of this information secret for so long. This is information that they know people want, and that, by the way, it's been tough for everybody to keep secrets.
Yeah,
even very powerful organizations like the government. And it's information that unlike that stuff, people know about. I know that there's a 5th character, so it's not like the leak is like, by the way, there's another character. It's like there's a 5th character.
Yeah.
We know that.
They straight up said that.
We're aware of
Evo,
that.
Yeah,
and so we want to get that info. So I don't know. I wish they would just release it instead of, us looking at these rumors and whatever crap constantly.
The thing that bothers me is it's lasted so long now that there is no way the 5th character is going to be cool. Because everybody's mind has swirled so much that they have just thought of just the most amazing things. Despite the fact that they said this character has never been in a fighting game before, everyone's always like, I hope it's Alex. I hope it's Karen. Okay. I hope it... And it's like, dude, they said this character's never been in a fighting game before. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, the only character that might be kind of cool is Gotetsu, right? But then that just wouldn't make any sense at all story-wise. But who knows? They brought Goken back from his forever sleep or whatever like that. So
well, I think you're right that it's going to be some character that already has that can be built off of an existing model. Yeah. Whether in Street Fighter 4 or in SFXT. And I hope that it's a character from the Tekken side of SFXT that was not already built on an SF4 character.
Right.
I just think that would be cool because I want to see some character that is not what I expect.
You know what?
I want to see a Jack 5 character that's like not Jack 5 obviously, but built off of that model. That sounds cool to me.
In the original Super Street Fighter 4, there wasn't supposed to be DJ, right? He was a bone thrown to James Goddard for doing such a good job.
You mean Super Street Fighter 2?
In Super Street Fighter 2, yeah. He was a bone thrown. The original plan was to have 2 Fei Longs. There was supposed to be a Fei Long clone. That's my new prediction now. They're going to go from Fei Long to Law back to the Fei Long clone.
Is that why they're nerfing Fei so much? They're just going to be like, here's the new Fei.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that'd be so annoying.
Dude. But yeah, okay.
I mean, we don't know. People want me to talk about things like my expectations for Hugo. I don't think we have any more information on that than we had before. We haven't really been told anything more about how those characters, the ones that are coming from Cross Tekken, will be implemented. So.
Yeah, the only thing that they said was that they're really focusing on Poison and Rolento's projectiles to make sure that they're balanced or something like that. I mean, someone said, I think someone tweeted that, or that was in the developer's blog. They had that picture of Rolento fighting Poison, and they're like, we're really focusing on making sure their projectiles are balanced. I was like, okay.
Okay. I mean, they showed screenshots of those characters, which is cool. As far as Hugo, I continue to be pretty pessimistic about him. He's designed with some of the worst normals in fighting game history. You're not gonna make the butt a good move. You're not gonna make Dolphinator a good move. They're just designed to suck.
The funniest thing is they're designed to suck in a game with parries.
It's a terrible choice.
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing to me. But see, in a weird way, they are more useful in a game with parries because they throw off your timing.
Sometimes you saw that.
Yeah,
actually, but it was rare. So you know that about a third of his moveset's going to be useless. Meat Squasher was not very good in SFXT. His buttons outside of like crouching short and stand strong were like pretty terrible. Stand jab. Even they made his splash worse. Even so, I mean, I don't know. I'm not confident that he will be anything but. Oh, that's a bad way to phrase it. See, I believe he will suck.
Yeah, see, some people are saying rumored fifth character might be Maki from Final Fantasy, but she's been in CVS too.
Already been in CVS too.
So that's not going to work. So
already done it. I don't know what else to say, but these are just rumors, of course, so don't get too excited about them and don't get too negative about them. On the other hand, who knows whether they'll turn out to be the case.
I mean, the funny thing about it is, like, sometimes I wonder, like, this red focus thing sounds so out of nowhere crazy. I wonder sometimes if they tell certain people certain things and then see who leaks it, and then they'll be like, I know who leaked it now.
That would be so smart. It'd be like a watermark for leaks.
Exactly, right?
Wow.
You just tell someone about it, and then another group of people you talk about the blue focus, and then another group of people you talk about the rolling forward or something like that, dude. And then if it gets out, then you're like,
that is pretty smart.
You should do that.
Definitely not the case, but hilarious.
Oh man!
All right, look, let's take a break.
All right, we'll be right back.
See you soon.